Can you guys hear us?
Yes, sounds great.
Oh, and we can hear you. Perfect. Okay.
Oh,
We're good.
great.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go check on that.
How's everyone doing? Do we have subs lined up?
Yes, we do.
Good. Here's Patty.
Hi,
And Jamie's here. There's Hamilton.
Can we do it from there?
I can
Is that possible? Because
let me look.
What time is it there?
10. Time is it? 3 hours difference.
Time.
I can have a picture.
So two facilities, Langley and here?
Langley, Lake Country,
Oh,
we
Lake.
have one in Richmond and one in downtown Vancouver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the newest one's the one in downtown Vancouver. It's a partnership in Vancouver Coastal Development.
That's terrific.
Community gardens, it's a large project for trades, events, and be more difficult to support quite regularly. But got them out of hospital living and into community living so that, they can live a completely different life
Yeah.
than in the hospital. So Lake Country is the same as
Are you
here,
finished with your plate?
and Langley is more residential homes.
You're all done?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, it's great. Great standing.
Second,
It's great to work standing.
we just cracked the Ontario
Yeah.
landscape, which is very difficult.
Really?
And why is that?
Why, British Columbia has one insurance provider, ICBC, and that's their insurance company. Whereas there's.
Prim, maybe we'll just get you guys to
Ontario,
mute until
that's-
Ontario needs to speak. Awesome. Thank you.
Well, now I can't hear you guys speaking. I want to know what Adam's talking about.
Are you feeling lonely, John?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay, good.
Hey, there's Matt. Matt Hudak. There he is. Hey, Matt. How you doing? Karen, are you feeling lonely there? Are you okay?
I'm okay, thanks, John. Yeah, kind of lonely, but yeah, it's all good. I'm there in spirit.
Well, it's kind of weird to do it virtually, right?
It is, but it's a nice way to see everyone actually, so connect us all. So
Welcome, Langley. Look how official Langley looks with the tablecloth and the banner. Woo!
I know. It looks like you guys are at a conference.
Very good.
That's experience there in Langley.
Exactly.
Where it all began. Where it all began.
Are you guys in the office, Jeanette, Mike? Hello, Tanis.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Juliet. I can tell by the red hair that, but that's about it.
Dark,
There.
you guys are so dark.
In Hamilton here,
Yeah.
that's Sylvia's computer. It is very
It's
backlit.
very dark, very dark.
Hi, Sylvia's computer. You guys look like shadowy figures, but we know you're there.
I'm gonna mute this.
Do we look dark? Oh, just Sylvia. Yeah, okay.
No, Juliet, you guys look very polished. I think you guys should be running the show.
Oh, okay, so there's Matt's computer is not dark.
Right, and
That's where-
this is Prim, and here's
Oh,
Sylvia.
I
They're
see,
in three
okay, there's
different parts of the
multiple
building, yeah.
places.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Cool.
usually just because somebody's pointed at the window or whatever.
yeah, it's just backlit. That's all.
Yeah.
There's
Just
Dana.
protection background.
Yeah.
Camera could be
There's
low.
Dana.
Oh, I see.
I need to put it low. Or camera or? No, I mean for future stuff.
I'm gonna mute this guy.
For future stuff, it should be lower.
So how is everybody? Are they feeling old?
Feeling grown up.
That,
That's
Thanks,
a better
Karen,
way,
that-
Karen. Yeah.
that's a much better way to put it. Have we got everybody assembled? Is there anybody else that we need to wait for?
I think we have representation from every location. I'm not sure if everyone from those locations is on, but it's 10:01.
No, that's okay. So this is a big deal. Juliet and Jeanette and Mike and Joyce, I think, are sitting at the blue table there. That's where it all started 30 years ago. They're actually in the old garage of a house that 30 years ago, my mom and I went out and bought to exercise our vision for a new service to support people with brain injury. And 30 years ago, I think 34 years ago, she went through a bankruptcy. And so my first job with my mom, Janet, was to go out to a bank and plead for money that we could get a mortgage to buy Homestead East. And that garage that you see the four folks sitting in there was a rat infested, terrible place. But the house was beautiful and the property was beautiful. And we had some sheep on the back. It was an acre property. It was way out in Langley, which for us living in Vancouver was a long way out there. But we were pretty clear what the vision was. And my mom was a special lady, and I'd always worked with her as a kid, but I joined her full time in February 1993. So I'm a little bit over 30 years. And as I said, my first job was to get a mortgage and get a house and start a business. And at the time, we ended up with a banker out in Langley and the house, because the house was out in Langley, and that's where it all started. And the vision really was obvious to us because we were working in the brain injury field in my mom's home care business, which is approaching 50 years old today. And we could see people with brain injury not getting the services that they needed within the healthcare system. And it was really putting families and people through a terribly tough time. You still see a lot of it happening today. And our vision was just to create a place that families and people with brain injuries would want for themselves to build a better life. And it was simple. It was simple as that. And we didn't have all the details. We didn't have it figured out, but we knew we wanted to do this. And oh my God, we had no clue what we were starting. And to be here 30 years down the track and see the journey that so many people have joined, and the great community that we've built is just worthy of celebration and worthy of marking the occasion. And it stopped being about my mom and I a very long time ago, because I think there's so many standard bearers and ambassadors of the vision our simple vision that we started with, that have put meat and bones around it and really contributed to something special. So many people along the way. And I'm just blown away that such a simple idea can be such a wonderful, build such a wonderful community. And you know, it takes a village, it takes many people, it takes years, it takes curiosity and learning and inspiration and change and evolution and we've done all of that in the 30 years. And I'm just it it I want to say it almost pains me to think about it, because it's so, there's so many things that we could recognize that have happened and have been turning points for us, and I just couldn't be more proud. After 30 years, I can't think of a better way to have spent my time or better people to have spent it with. And yeah, I'm just full of pride and gratitude in that. There's specific communities of thanks that I would like to recognize. First and well, there's no first and foremost. We're all equal members of the community, but we could not have done it without people within the healthcare system and funders subscribing to what we were trying to do. And my mom had a lunch at a brain injury conference in 1992 next to a lady, Judy Alexander, from what was at the time was Workers' Compensation Board in Richmond. And Judy said, Jan, we were doing some home care work for folks with brain injury, and Judy said, Jan, you should start a home, and I'll do my best to support you. And that, you know, we left that conference and we went to try and get a mortgage to get a home and start the business. And WorkSafe to this day is one of our principal funders in BC. And they really, I don't know that Connect would be here, we'd be having this conversation without their support over 30 years. It's been incredible. They've been a great partner. When I look at the Lake Country crowd, well, there was some really good visionary people at Interior Health, and they put out an RFP that we responded to, and they have funded a large part of Lake Country and what Lake Country's become, and they've been a solid partner. In Hamilton, some good people at Hamilton Health Sciences, and maybe Patty can kind of provide some flavor there, and the Hamilton crowd, but Hamilton would not be there if we didn't have some core funding in place. And you know, at the end of the day, it's healthcare is a fantastic social enterprise, but it is an enterprise, and it does take funding and support from people. And we've been very, very lucky to have such great partners along the way. Vancouver Coastal Health, Fraser Health in Langley has been a long-time supporter over. Probably they weren't our first client in Langley, but they were pretty close. So they're pretty close to 30-year partner as well. Hamilton Health Sciences, Vancouver Coastal, Interior Health. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all of the private families who have sacrificed to have folks be supported by Connect. We've got a long history of working with private families, and are recognize what a challenge it is to fund these types of services, and really appreciate all of financial support that we've had. The other group that I can't, I could spend days thanking is the people who work at Connect and have joined our tribe. I never thought that I'd be looking back on 30 years of working at Connect, and I certainly didn't think that we'd have people still with us who joined us 20 odd years ago. To this day, Susan Fulton works next door to me, right through this wall. I'm not by myself, by the way, today. I just wanted you guys to see my face while I was speaking, so I'll join the others down the hall when I can. But Susan was, when we got the house in Langley, Susan was the first employee that we had. At the time, the office was in my mother's basement, And I still remember the interview when Susan came in. She was in her early 20s, I think, and had just finished her LPN training. And my wife, Suzanne, who also joined the business in 1993, came in and said, I think this one would be perfect for Langley. And Susan actually was our first live-in person at the very first house in Langley in 1994 when we opened. And she works next to me to this day, 30 years later. Or not 30 years later, sorry. It was 94, 95, I think. So 28 years. I never thought that would happen. And there's so many stories like that within our community. I'm just very, very appreciative for each and every one of you who have joined this journey that connects on. Just know that you've created a special place, and I think every day of the blessing that I've experienced of having such long-term staff. And I also recognize there's lots of new folks. And I hope in 25 years' time, some of you will be able to sit back and reflect on the next chapters of our journey. And it's been the most wonderful thing in my life. And I'm very grateful. The last group that I want to recognize is the people that we support. I actually wrote something down about that. I needed to jog my memory. It said, if you take care of people, people will take care of you. And I feel that speaks to the people we support better than anything. They're at the core of what we've always been and what we've always been about. And they provide us with direction, with vision, with inspiration. And many years ago, when we redid our org chart to represent how we really felt about it, the people we support were in the bullseye of concentric circles, and everybody else was on the outside, being inspired by them. And without folks going through a journey that I can only imagine how difficult and that could be, it really fills me up to see, to be inspired by the work that those folks are doing to build a better life for themselves. And it makes our work easy. I think that's probably how I'd put it. It makes our work easy because we can see and be inspired by how difficult and challenging and worthwhile the journey is for them. So thank you to the people we support as well. I think that's it. I wanted to keep it kind of short. So all I'll say is I couldn't be more proud. I'm blessed to know all of you and be on this journey and be in this community. And congratulations on 30 years. What do you say? Golf clap is what? And I think Patty was going to say a few words, and then we actually had a bunch of milestones that we wanted to go through and reminisce.
No, is that going to work? Oh, no.
Maybe you can speak into here.
Yeah.
You can always come down here and speak, Patty, if you want.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, you guys are okay. Thank you, John. Can I just say, John, never ever change.
Yeah.
And always continue to remind us about why we're doing what we do. And you made me cry, yes. I was doing great. I have to say that this has been, for me as well, the jewel of my life. I didn't think I was going to get emotional. What we do for people that we support reminds me every day why you show up with kindness, why you show up with determination and creativity to help people to redesign their life. And They have the hardest job of all. And I just feel super privileged to be a part of this journey. I've been around, I guess, for about 18 years-ish with Connect. My very first friend when I moved to Vancouver about 26 years ago was Janet Sherwood. And little did I know that I would be working with John and all of you to help her legacy and John's legacy come to life. So I personally am so grateful for that. My lens is to help celebrate, to look to the past, but also think about the future. And John paved the way really well with acknowledging so many important partners and funders. And one of our key things that we do at Connect is really lean into our social capital. We help the people we support wrap around the people that mean something to them. And the growth of our company has been all about that. We develop relationships, we lean into the people that we know throughout the healthcare system and otherwise to see if we can open doors to tell our story and to offer it to other communities. So amazing, right? Like, look at Langley. I love, like, I hope you're taking pictures of this because you guys, like, honest to God, the blue and all the things and those beautiful people around the table, amazing. And then we opened Lake Country, and then we really stirred the shit. And we needed to really kind of rethink some things. And Joyce and Jeanette and Mike, that wasn't always easy, was it? To make change. But you're still here and you stuck it out. And now Ashley and Juliet are sitting around that table and you've contributed so much to where we're at and where we're going. We're looking forward to even new adventures and spreading the love to Vancouver Island. John and I just reviewed the final draft of a contract with Island Health to get Connect Parksville up and running in the next couple years. There's potential for another site on the Vancouver Island as well. So we're growing there. Obviously Hamilton came on board, and that is very close to my heart. It's where I grew up and now kind of where I live, even though I have a foot in both camps. And look out, Ontario. We're coming for you. The work that we've done in Hamilton over the last number of years speaks volumes, and we need to tell that story to other decision makers in Ontario so that perhaps we can offer other things to other connects to other communities. So that's going to be a big focus for the next number of years. And let's hope that in 30 years time, or 25, as John has said, many of you will still be around to help tell that story and keep this legacy going. And it's all about the people we support. And if we can keep your lives happy, then you guys show up to work and you help to support the people to help redesign their lives. And that's what it's all about. And I think I said to Adam the other day, if I stop showing up as a person that supports that, then someone needs to let me know it's time to move on. And I give you all that power to tap me on the shoulder and say, Patty, it's not working anymore. You need to get out of here. But I will, for as long as I'm here, do what I can do to help make lives better, including yours. Thank you. And I'm going to pass the 30 milestones, I think, on to you, John.
Oh, okay. Well, I do we have a graphic we can put up, Lisa? Maybe if you share your screen, or I guess I could share my screen. What's the icon to share your, oh, there it is.
Got it?
Can you see it? Yeah, except I can't see it. Oh, there we go. Can you see it?
Yep, we got it.
Oh, okay. So I already spoke about in 1993 going out and finding a rancher. We called it at the time the Classic Homestead. Our agency was called Classic Caregivers, and we called it the Classic Homestead. And we got it in 1993. Huge milestone. I already spoke about that. And we had sheep on the back paddock. We had chickens. We had a rat-infested garage. And we did a renovation to gussy it up to support people. And we opened officially in 1994. And Susan Fulton, who works next to me still to this day, she's actually works for the home care business now. She supported our first client there, John Kiban. And we were a little late getting organized. I'd love to reach out to John and find out what he's up to now, because I had a good relationship with him, and he was the very first person we supported. And to this day, we've supported hundreds of folks at Connect locations, and it's been wonderful. So 1994, 1996, it took us 3 years after we opened our first home to even get a community license. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we knew where we wanted to go. And so it was a 3-year journey. And Jeanette, I think you were there when we got our first license, I believe. Jeanette, who you see sitting at the blue table there, she and Susan played a huge role in building Langley as a Connect resource. And they've been there all along the way, from 1 home to 2 homes to 5 homes. And I think Jeanette and Susan, as much as anybody, we owe a debt of gratitude for being there and getting Langley through some ups and downs, and building it long term. For many, many years, I counted on Jeanette and Susan to keep things running. And they did. And they did a wonderful job. And Jeanette, did you really think you'd be here 25, 26 years later? It's amazing. 27. In 1997, my wife, Suzanne, came back from a visit to Langley and said, geez, the house next door is for sale. Maybe that would be a good idea. And I kind of, being a little cynical, I was like, oh, probably not. And I went out and it was perfect. And one of the funny things about the second Langley house, which we called Classic Homestead West, was my brother at the time was playing junior hockey for the Langley Eagles. And he was 16 or 17 or something. He was playing for this junior club in Langley. And he phones me one day and says, we don't have a place to have our team party. And you've got that empty house next door. Do you mind if we kind of do it? And Susan was like, no. And I was feeling, wanted to be supportive and everything. I said, look, if you clean it up, you can use it. Anyway, they had a shaker. Everybody in Langley heard about it because this junior hockey club would have been quite popular. And they had this huge shaker before we renovated Langley. And Susan, I swear to God, 4 or 5 years later, was still pulling bottle caps out of the couches and that. Just absolutely hilarious. In 1998, we rebranded the company as Classic Rehab Community. We wanted to distance ourselves, because it was a unique business, and distance ourselves from the home care agency. And so that was kind of a big deal, that we developed a more independent identity from our home care business, and what's now Connect could really stand on its own. In 1999 was a pretty tough year in my life. My mom passed away, and that was a big deal. And Suzanne and I were kind of on our own, and with the folks that had joined us, had to step in and run the business without her, and it was tough. But but at the time, we were really getting traction with what we were doing. We'd actually figured things out, and with Jeanette and many others' help in Langley, we had a good thing going, and we were getting attention, and we were able to expand to a third home because of demand in 1999. The fourth home, after we'd had a couple of years of operating and absorbing my mom's death, we were able to get a fourth home, which we called Jan's Place. And I think, can you guys see me, or can you just see my screen?
We can see you.
Okay, I'll just get this off my wall. So in dedicated September 12th, 2003.
Put it up a bit.
Can you see?
Yeah. Oh,
Back.
back. Oh, still back more.
I'll just read it.
That's because it's blurry in the background.
Yeah, actually, it's tough to read it because it's a bit worn, but it says Classic Rehab Community, Jan's Place, in loving memory of Janet Sherwood, founder of Classic Rehab Community, dedicated September 12th, 2003. So Ray Timms actually got that when the house, we've actually sold the house and we've moved to Jan's Place to a different location now, for those who don't know. But Ray was nice enough to give me that plaque, and I have it on my wall full of pride. So that was when we really felt independent and had kind of found our way. In 2005, we got Bryden House in Langley, and that was our fifth house. So every few years, we were building momentum and capacity and all that comes with that, and complexity. And Jeanette was really at that point kind of running the show in Langley, and just I know that part because I had two businesses and I was kind of stepping back, and it was a bit, it was tough to manage everything, and Jeanette handled a lot of things in Langley, an awful lot of things without, and Jeanette's pretty low maintenance. You could actually be a little more higher maintenance so we can hear what she's all about, right, Jeanette? Anyway, in 2006 was probably the biggest change in our history. I mentioned Interior Health. Well, they came out with an RFP in 2006, and I had never really wanted to do a lot of big government business or whatever I thought it was at the time. And but when I read this bid package, it described what we did almost perfectly. And I was like, well, we're one of the only outfits doing the work that we're doing. How come we have an obligation to respond to this and put an offer in? I never thought we'd win it. And we put a bid together and wrote up a package, and my God, a few months later, we got a phone call or an email or whatever it was, and said that we were the preferred proponent and they'd like to negotiate a contract with us. And that was a huge, huge step. And that was the birth of Lake Country and in Kelowna. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. I'd never done more than a house rental and a group home. And so we signed a contract with them, and the vision kind of expanded to include the professional coaching team up in, that was one of the first things that Interior Health wanted to add to what the types of things we were doing in Langley. Anyway, I sketched out the floor plan for Kelowna on a napkin with an architect. And that's about as far as I got. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this alone. And that brings us to the next milestone, which was my first call was to Patty Flaherty, who I had worked with, who my mom knew, who was a lateral thinker and a visionary in the field of brain injury. And I phoned her and said, I need help. And she had worked within the health authorities for a while and could speak that language better than I could. And we'd actually had a great partnership in running the brain injury conference for years. And so I was thrilled when Patty was able to join us. And there you go. I don't know that Patty and I thought that would lead to a long-term relationship, but that's what Connect is all about. I think it's together we've kind of we're been a great partnership, I think, over the years in building Connect. Patty didn't know it much about construction, but she embedded herself. I didn't know much about construction either in Lake Country, and we got it built. And I didn't know this milestone, Patty, but you met Jamie at the Interdependence Network in 2007, which is super cool. Everybody's muted, so I can't hear whether that's true or not. In 2008.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pipe in. Yeah, Jamie and I met. We were founding members of the Interdependent Network with Al Condalucci, who's both of our very good friends, and it's probably because of him that Jamie's now working for us. But Jamie stalked me for years. He stalked me because he wanted to work in Hamilton.
It's not totally true.
Sort of,
Part.
sort of true. Your words.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
My words are, Patty came to Hamilton to start like creating Hamilton and do some research, and she just wanted to get caught up for a coffee, or that's what she told me. And about halfway through the coffee, it felt more like an interview. So, and that was years before Hamilton started. So. I stalked her after that. So.
That's all about the social capital. They're right there. Sorry,
Yeah,
John.
so the social capital reminds me of something too, is that I connect in many ways because we didn't know what we were doing, but we had a vision, was a bit ahead of the curve. And what's happened over time is that the science has caught up to what we're doing. That now, and that happened a little bit farther down the track, but we didn't have names for all this stuff. And social capital wasn't really in our lingo anyway until Patty came aboard, but that was actually what we were trying to do. Build relationships, build community, build a life the way all of us do, whether we have a brain injury or not. So the services were leading, but the science had some catching up to do, and the system had some catching up to do. So it's been a pretty cool ride, and an affirmation that we're on the right track. And Karen's in the room. So Patty, God bless her, eventually got Lake Country built, and Karen joined, and that was our first. All of our openings have been chaotic and and difficult, but the Lake Country opening was a bit ridiculous. We still had half the building under construction. We were building a new model. We had a health authority kind of in huge partnership with us at the time, with big expectations, and it was a real pressure cooker. So Karen, I'm so glad you made it through that, and I think you understand the life redesign model and what we're doing as well as anybody. And it's just been great having you at the helm in Lake Country, and spreading your influence everywhere now. We opened in 2009, so Karen was recruited just before we opened and has been with us ever since. There was a house next door. We have a history of buying houses next door, and so we do have capacity in the future in Lake Country to expand if it ever comes to that. Meanwhile, we've got a house that we can use. 2011, in the conversations with the health authorities, we've always had we have no difficulty describing the intrinsic value of what we do in building better lives and supporting people to move into community. But there's more to it than that. When we're trying to change the healthcare system, we need to show economic value as well. And so we came up with studied Lake Country and came up with statistics that show that what we're doing at Connect actually provides both economic and social benefit back to our funders. They actually save money by helping us build better lives for the folks we're supporting. That's a really powerful thing when there's not a lot of accountability across the system, and it's difficult to kind of determine in healthcare. It's a powerful thing to say that what we do at Connect is a winner on so many fronts. and at its core is the right thing to do at every level. And that's a powerful thing, and we were able to express it properly for the first time in 2011. So we were also able to express it properly with Accreditation Canada and have them verify that what we were doing was special. We got leading practice, I think, in 2016 on our second survey. So accreditation's been a real affirmation of the types of services that we're providing. And my observation over the years with accreditation is that the people who come in to see what you guys do come away having learned something and come away with having ideas for making the system better and providing better supports and services for people in this field. So we should be very, very proud of that, because the people that come in and take a look at us through accreditation are working in pretty sophisticated systems elsewhere. And I'm very proud of that. I think many of you have led the accreditation efforts, and it's a worthwhile journey. And as such, we actually trademarked our life redesign model. It's unique in healthcare in the country, I believe, and I believe it's been designated leading practice, and it's something we should be very proud of. We're not going to rest on it. There's lots of evolution and improvement, and we'll be trying to do that every year. Ontario. Connect responds to an RFP from Hamilton Health Sciences. Patty actually moved out to Ontario for 2 years to try and get something going, because we needed scale to what we were doing. And just a quick story, I was out with my family in Hamilton during that period, after I think Patty had landed the contract with Hamilton Health Sciences. And we'd actually managed to get a property out there that we we're going to develop. And we went to Montana's with my family, just down the street from the property. And we were staying actually at the house in Hamilton that's still there. And anyway, I knew my parents had been married in Stony Creek. And my mother had actually worked for in the 50s, had worked for Shadow Hospital, which was the precursor to Hamilton Health Sciences. And I wanted to see where my parents were married. Anyway, long story short, I Googled it, and it's about the church that they got married at in Stony Creek is about 10 minutes from Connect Hamilton. And when we went there, the sun was shining through, and there's a little halo over the church. And I thought, oh my God, was this ever meant to be? And the fact that Patty and my mom had that relationship, and Patty was from Hamilton, there's just all kinds of synergies, which were special. Fast forward to 2021, Connect has really got some momentum right now. We know what we're doing is special, and I think others are recognizing it system-wide. We have a lot of traction in BC, and we soon, I hope to have more traction in Ontario, because as far as I'm concerned, the community of brain injury and stroke is underserved across the country. And what we're doing does make lives better for the folks with brain injury and stroke. And there's just endless opportunities. The fact we're getting more traction now than we've ever had is a real blessing. And I think it's going to lead to special things. i.e. in 2021, during the pandemic, WorkSafe BC, which is our long-term partner in BC, did a 2-year pilot with us for a little bit of a different population. That's super cool. They don't do pilots. So it was very cool they did that. Most recently, Vancouver Coastal Health. When I started in 1993, I did a community brain injury course at George Pearson Hospital in Vancouver in 1993. At that time, they were saying George Pearson Hospital has to go away. It's an old style institution. It was a TB hospital that had been converted to long-term care and supported mostly people with brain injury. That was 1993. We'd been talking about it for 20 years. Patty has done a lot of work with Vancouver Coastal. They issued an RFP during the pandemic in 2021 to with a plan to close down Pearson Hospital and transition folks to community. And we have a sister company now, Connect Partners, and have opened. We just had our 1-year anniversary over at Canby Gardens, supporting the folks who used to live at Pearson. Amazing, amazing project. Heavily institutionalized model and moving folks into community. Super, super cool. All attributable to the work that you guys do every day, because you've shown them the way. In 2022, we went international, and Connect attended the International Congress on Brain Injury. I'm sure Jamie and Patty didn't have any Guinness, and they stuck to, you know, all their presentations there. But we're getting international attention with our model, and who knows where it'll lead. I never thought it'd lead to this, right? When we bought that house in Langley in 1993, and here we are. RTSS. Patty, Jamie, maybe you can speak to that.
Want to speak to this? I'm gonna put Adam on the spot for this one, because he's really been the key contributor and did most of the work for Connect, along with Dee and some of the professional coaches.
Yeah, nothing like being put on the spot.
Time, Adam. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just really briefly, that's what we brought to, over to Island. The RTSS is a really awesome opportunity to really show what our life redesign model does and what's involved in the everyday. You know, there's this opportunity that we have to present at the Ontario Brain Injury Conference that's coming up in November. And I'll use the words of an individual that is a part of our opening video of this. And he talked about all the great things that he does here, from going to the farmer's market to walking to Tim Hortons to get a coffee, to building these awesome wooden tables. And he says, I don't really see where the rehab is. And when you look at all the opportunities that our individuals that we support go through every day, there's a lot of opportunities to help redesign their lives and make their lives better. So the RTSS gives us that tool to help show that to the people we support and our families, and super excited to continue to work on this and show the country what we do. So excited, yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Well done. You do very well on the spot, which means you'll probably get asked again. People service revamp. Like, I'm very proud of the 30-year history. One of the things I'm most proud of is we've always evolved. We've always worked on improving what we're doing. And the people service revamp that Jamie and many others have spearheaded is kind of part of that evolution. And I don't ever want to stop looking in the mirror and trying to improve Connect as an organization and what we do. And I think that's a representation of, let's always be willing to look at ourselves and throw things out and build new things and do exciting improvements to what we're doing. It's the only way forward. And there's been so many changes over the 30 years that have moved us in a better direction. And that openness to change and evolution is what got us here. And that's what's going to get us into the future as well. Patty mentioned Vancouver Island. We're pretty excited about that. Just another sign of the momentum and the acknowledgement that what Connect does is special, and that we can spread the love to a community that, again, has been desperate for this type of service for many, many years. And there'll be lots more news to come about Vancouver Island, and I couldn't be more excited about it. It just builds a bigger, better community, and it's needed. As I said, you could have, doesn't need to be a Connect, but you could have these type of resources right across the country in almost every community, and very few have them. So huge victory. We've got huge momentum in BC, hope to in Ontario and across the country. So I don't know, I just go back to what I said at the beginning. Oh my God, I never saw this coming 30 years ago. It was just a simple idea. And I just can't thank everybody enough for joining the vision and being there with me in the journey. It's the pride of my life. There, I fought back tears there, but that worked. Listen, just one thing, I was gonna mention some of the long-term staff in the years, but I don't see it on the thing.
It's on one of the first, if you go to the very first one, John, it's like the third slide or so. Oh, right here. Oh, I just saw it. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Keep going. You'll see
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned Jeanette and Susan and my wife Suzanne, who've been around forever. Some of the others, like, and I recognize some folks have just joined us, but that doesn't mean that 25 years from now that it's a similar story. For me, I just never saw that coming either. We always thought, well, you know, are we ever going to have long-term staff? Well, you bet your boots we do, and I just can't. You guys have been here for a long time and been here with me along the way, and I love it. I appreciate it, and you've contributed as much as anybody to connect, and I appreciate that. Amy, 1998, Bhupinder, 2000, Leah, doing the night shift forever in Langley in 2001. Mike Gehring, what can I say about Mike? He should wear a cape. Maggie, I think Suzanne still remembers the interview with Maggie in Vancouver. It's another one where, oh, you'd be great in Langley. And off goes Maggie to work with Jeanette in Langley for years. Well, that's 20 years now. Vanita, I've had just a wonderful person, and I've had many good visits with Vanita. And that, you know, we could be here all day because we've got lots of people that have contributed to what Connect is, and I love it. I love that part of it, that we've built together a community. Sure, it's a work community, but it's much more than that. It feels like a family to me, and I'll be forever grateful. So,
Hey, John,
congrats.
I just want to add 2 more people that I can think of right away. Bernadita, who started in Langley
Yes.
and is now in Lake Country, has
Yes.
been with us for like.
I think Bernie's actually the longest standing life redesign coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Bernie.
Yeah, and Christy used to work at Classic and now works for Connect up in Lake Country. And I don't know, how many years?
Oh, she's well
longer
over
than
20.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forget.
Yeah.
that's got to be 20.
Yeah, we love. I mean, there's just so many
There's so
stories.
many, I know. If
we
we
love
forgot
Christy.
you, sorry.
Yeah, Christy worked in the home care business for years, and she gets short shrift sometimes because her Connect anniversary is a little bit different. And but the years that she worked with me and Suzanne at Classic is full marks for that. She was a scheduler, which is one of the toughest jobs and still is. So yeah, I don't know. I just go on and on. It's been an amazing journey, and thank you so much. And I hope I left enough time, Lisa, for others to say a few words.
I'm sure we did. So what we'll do is we'll go over to Ontario first. We've got 2 people that want to say a few words, and maybe Adam or Prim can help arrange that. So give the right person the mic or the floor.
Okay, how do I unshare?
Top of your screen next to the leave
Yeah,
button,
just-
John.
In the wide stand in front.
Just unshare it.
Yeah, you'll see yourself.
There we go.
Perfect. We can mute that soon.
Front and center. Hi, everybody. I'm Rebecca Bond. I'm a Community Intervention Coordinator, Hamilton Health Sciences. Very grateful to be invited here today to celebrate this milestone. Certainly Ontario and Hamilton Health Sciences are privileged to join this family. Since inception, this partnership has been amazing. The ease of communication has been top notch. Trust and camaraderie has been, right from the get-go, which only leads to ease of problem solving, ease of planning, which then translates to the best possible experience for the individuals we're supporting. I think Hamilton Health Sciences Connect have been fortunate to share the same dream and the same goal of supporting people to meet their max, giving people the time that they need to meet that max, and meeting them where they're at in terms of their own individual goals. It's led to benefit for all, less hospital stay, shorter hospital stay for our individuals, and more positive outcomes with less support needed at the end of the day. I think the best thing is definitely the Connect model in terms of risk taking and taking chances on people, meeting individuals where they're at in their own goals, in their own way, which leads to the best possible outcome for our people and is really the essence of the life redesign model, isn't it? So just a couple words I wanted to share quickly. I know I don't have much time, but I wanted to share a couple words from both a stroke partner that refers to us quite a bit, St. Peter's, Jackie. So she says, we are so fortunate to have Connect Hamilton in our community. Their team is always willing to collaborate and do whatever they can to accommodate our patients who are transferred to continue their rehab at Connect. Their unique approach to rehabilitation is making a difference in the lives of their residents. It always feels like our patients have won the lottery when they get approved for Connect. And it's so comforting to know that they will continue their rehab journey with the help of such a caring and dedicated team. Michelle Fletcher, Michelle Parody, sorry, she's a social worker on one of our ABI rehab units. Michelle's thoughts are, when I think of Connect, I do think of how they are so willing to collaborate with us to ensure better transitions from hospital to their environment, how they are willing to take a risk on some of our patients where we are less sure of their functional outcomes, because they really do place a high value on quality of life, patient-centered goals, and meeting a patient where they are. So that pretty much says it all. Thank you.
Rebecca, you can come and work with us anytime.
I feel like I already won the lottery.
We are, Gary and Deb Brandt are the more personal story, because our son was a former resident at Connect Hamilton. And I'm not really good at just speaking, so I'm sorry, I'm going to be reading. Our relationship with Connect Hamilton began April 2021, late COVID. Following a brief stay at ABI Hamilton General Hospital, then Supervisor Carolyn Gallant recommended Connect Hamilton as a good fit for our son Adrian's needs. Adrian had experienced a traumatic brain injury after a fall in his apartment building. He had experienced periodic seizures prior to his fall, and as a result, Adrian was left with short-term memory impairment, poor balance, and an awkward gait. He, however, maintained his kind nature and sense of humor most days. Adrian was a big sleeper and tended to be somewhat nocturnal. These habits interfered with more regularly scheduled physiotherapy, daily adaptive habits, and socialization. In A2 House, the team allowed Adrian his personal choices while encouraging him to participate and develop skills necessary to lead a new normal life. These ambitions were not necessarily always shared by Adrian, but one constant skill that he relished was preparing tea for himself numerous times a day, and another was making soup for others. Adrian had worked in restaurant kitchens most of his adult life, and he had a natural ability in preparing various soups and sometimes helped out in the beautiful A2 kitchen with other meal preparations. Barbecue season was always a high point. Adrian very much enjoyed the positive feedback he received from the Connect team leaders and residents alike. He became a bit of a celebrity, which was really a boost to his self-esteem and confidence. It was so satisfying to witness this for him. Adrian's rehab became further interrupted with a diagnosis of lung cancer. Treatment exhausted him further, but the support and TLC that he received was wonderful. Here you go, Gary.
Tim's steep tea, blueberry muffins, Gatorade, McDonald's. He was spoiled by all and loved it so much. When it became apparent that Adrian would not survive the challenges. Before him, Adam, Jamie, and Primrose extended an amazing offer. Adrian could remain and connect with his family for as long as he was able. It was such a wonderful gift to him and to us. Adrian was a resident at Connect Hamilton for 26 months, considerably longer than is generally intended. Connect became not only his community, but his family. A2 team members were motivators, challengers, supporters, enforcers, which was needed, and when need be, friends and family. To Sarah, Victoria, Sama, Carolyn, Jillian, Jennifer, Ashley, Elena, Peven, David, June, and Bonnie, and so many others. You made a huge difference, as you do each day, for everyone who has had the opportunity to enjoy the culture at Connect. We can't thank you enough for all you do. For Adrian.
We have to say something
Wow.
about that.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much to both of you for speaking about your wonderful son. And he has left a huge mark on Connect Hamilton. And we really appreciate you joining us today. I'm sure it's very difficult to say what you said. So thank you very much. And to Rebecca, honest to God, really, like, are you working with us now? Like the language, and Rebecca joined us in Ireland, and Rebecca didn't drink any Guinness either.
Awesome.
Thank you so much to the folks in Hamilton.
Thank you, thank you. And now we'll go over to Lake Country, where we also have two people wanting to say some words. So if you're ready to go, or maybe Mark or Kim can help organize.
I think, yeah, Kathy's there.
Yeah, Kathy, you can go ahead. Yeah. Just make sure you're unmuted, Kathy. Always technical difficulties.
Oh, somebody needs to help her.
Yeah. Still on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Kim.
Kim, seriously, help Kathy.
We're good. Can you hear us?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Great, thank you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, I'm Kathy Hollowing. My daughter Amity lives here at Lake Country Connect. She's been here 10 years. Oh, louder? Okay. Can you turn the volume up? Oh, louder? No. Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, as I was saying, my name is Kathy Hollowing. My daughter Amity lives here at Connect Lake Country, and she's been here 10 years. The first 2 years she was in a transitional rehab program, and now she's in a residential status program, which is wonderful. And when Amity had her brain injury, we traveled around to find places, different facilities to help her and give her the care that she needed. And it was difficult. And then we got introduced to Lake Country Connect. Well, that made our lives and her lives, our world, just so much better. Amity has grown in leaps and bounds, physically, mentally, socially, and just from the whole community here in Lake Country Connect, of course. And yeah, it just makes our life so much better. And I just want to say happy anniversary, Connect. 30 years is wonderful. And thank you for making all of our lives better.
That's great. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Amity makes all of our lives better every single day. Yeah.
She's a great person. She really is, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kathy. And we also have on the line Sandra Mittler. former ABI team lead and current knowledge coordinator from IH. So Sandra, you've got the floor. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you. Sandra Jitler with a JI, by the way.
Jitler, yes, thank you.
That was a nice creative blast from elementary school blunders. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Mark Fleming, for inviting me to say a few words, and happy anniversary, Connect, yay. I've been working for Interior Health for over 10 years in acquired brain injury. I'm now the knowledge coordinator with Interior Health, acquired brain injury and concurrent disorders. And I've had the pleasure to work with the Connect team over the years around a number of individuals who have transitioned through Lake Country services. I did want to, well, much of it, what I'm going to say is similar to what's already been said, but I just wanted to express my gratitude for the openness, the flexibility, the communication, the collaboration from the Connect team. I know there's a lot of creativity, hard work, persistence, and heart that goes along with this work. It's not always easy. But I really admire the dedication and just the willingness to stick with it and do our best to support those individuals who are at the center of our work. On that note, I also wanted to thank anyone who is attending one of the Connect facilities today for your collaboration with all of us and your trust in working with us and with us trying to provide you with some opportunities and letting us follow you on your journey. So I look forward to a lot of good collaboration in the future, and I enjoy your day and your celebration. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sandra. Jitler. Thank you very much. And now let's go over to Langley, and Juliet, maybe you can introduce who's going to speak there. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am going to ask Suzanne. The first person that popped in my mind was Suzanne to talk from our staff because she's been with us. She was with us for 17 years. 17 years. Come on over, Suzanne. Sit here. Because Suzanne had was part of the early coaching training with Patty and Mike and all. And she actually came up with her own goals, which actually led her to just recently leave Connect and start her own business with Strive, caring for people in her own home. So Suzanne.
Hi, everyone. I wrote my speech in order not to forget the words that I have to say. First of all, I have to thank everyone for letting me be a part of Connect Community's 30th anniversary. I'm honored and humbled that I've been given a chance to express my gratitude to everyone who supported me since day one. I've been at Connect for 17 years. Each one of you contributed to how I grow as a person today. The lessons I learned from you guys are valuable. The example is setting goals and achieving them and finding life's purpose. I'm out of Connect communities at this moment, but my heart is still with you guys. I never forget the people who made me feel that I have a family. Thank you, Connect Communities, and happy anniversary. I don't have enough words to thank everyone who contributed on how I grow on my path, achieving my goals with as a redesign coach. And I know where I came from and where I am right now, and I owe this to connect communities, to the people I work with, to the residents and the coaches, especially the people that's been with me every day of my life for 17 years at Connect. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Thank you, Suzanne.
And Suzanne, don't go away. Don't go away,
She's
Suzanne.
still here.
Thank you.
Just off to the side. And is Carla ready at South House? No, they've been here. the whole time.
Yes, in about 2 seconds. 1 second, I'm just gonna grab her.
So
So
Carla's,
can I just say something to Suzanne before Carla speaks? I can't wait to hear Carla. Suzanne, I'll never forget you for the rest of my life. Like, you are so wonderful. And I had the privilege to work with Suzanne and Mike in our coaching triad many, many years ago when we first brought the coaching model to Connect. And Suzanne, you taught me so much. And watching you grow as a human has been a real privilege. And I really, really look back on that triad meeting at Starbucks with such fond memories. So thank you to both Suzanne and Mike for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and Carla has been living with us at Connect for about, is it 12 years? Is it more?
Absolutely.
So I just wanted her to be able to say a few words. One of Carla's goals has been to do some public speaking. And so Carla's going to be actually speaking at Trinity Western University next year. Our plan is to some of the students there that we want to bring to Connect to learn from us and to give us some of their skills. But we just wanted her to be able to say a few words for to everyone about Connect, her experience of Connect.
Okay, so one thing I find about Connect is totally encouragement, and me, I'm the kind of person that will look at a person and know that they're uncomfortable or know that they're not really feeling secure. Then I'll pick them out and go, "Hi, how are you?" I'll make them laugh. Why not? Because I mean, I might as well, because this is coming from a person who was in a coma for over 22 months. And I was completely written off because I shattered both of my legs, broke my arm, and hit my head in a head-on car accident when I was 15 years old. But now I'm kicking butt.
You sure are, Carla.
So I just really want to try and encourage anybody who comes into like Connect or anywhere when they have, whether they have speech problem, say Levy, I'll make you laugh. And if they want to be more confident, or they want to be walking more proudly, I'll help them hold their head up high. Why not? And all we need is a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of an extra push. And that's what I got.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Carla.
Thanks, Carla.
Amazing. Love it. So that was amazing. Thank you all. And Jamie, I think you might just have a couple words, and maybe Karen has a couple words to wrap us up.
Sure, that's a lot, really, really hard acts to follow all the way around. Done that. When I reflect back on my time with Connect, it seems so short compared to how long Connect's been around. And I didn't really have an idea of how many changes have happened over the last 30 years, because I know how many things have happened just in Hamilton since I started and all the changes we've been through. And I've had a really great opportunity over the last couple of years to visit the other locations a little more and visit all the great people that we have working for us. And my hope for the future is really, really bright. I know Connect's going to do amazing things in the next 5 or 10 years. And it's all due to the work of our life redesign coaches and all the dedication they have every day. You guys have the hardest job in the world and you never complain. Well, maybe not never, but it's always with a good attitude and a look towards the future and advocating for the people we're supporting. So I just thank you so much for all that you guys do, and I look forward to many years working with you all.
Wow. Well, me next.
Go ahead, Karen.
Jamie, yeah, Carla, your indomitable spirit. Love to see you. Suzanne, it was great to see you there. I miss you. And, you know, to everyone, I can't believe it's been 15 years. And I want to say thank you. Thank you to John for all of this. Thank you to Patty for saving me from making the biggest mistake of my life, because I turned the job down. And I am so grateful to you for so many things, and to all the people. Connect at his heart is about people supporting people. And you know, when we're doing it right, it doesn't look like rehab. It looks like people doing stuff and living life. And excuse me, and to all the people who do that work, you teach us so much and you do it with passion, and thank you for that. And to the people we support, we're here because of you. And keep challenging us, because through you we are better, and through you is the path to our future. And I can only imagine what Connect is going to do in the next 30 years. But the last 15 has been a blast for me personally. And I just want to say happy anniversary, everyone. Congratulations. And here's to the future.
It's Patty or John. Go ahead. Anything else, John or Patty?
No, there's nothing to say. I'm blown away. I continue to be blown away, and thanks to everyone. And I love you, and I love this.
Lovely. Enjoy whatever celebrations you're doing there in each of the locations, and just thank you for continuing to show up and being the best that you can be. And I can't wait to see you in person.
Congratulations, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. All
Enjoy
right.
your day, everyone.
Bye. Have fun.
Send us photos of your celebrations.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.